This is part 20 of me soul tied to this demon of a baby daddy. Now, I ain't gonna lie, baby. I got a little animosity, boo. I'm mad as a mug. So, yeah, I got a little attitude. So, since I'm a deadbeat, let's go and talk about you, deadbeat. So, y'all remember the trip I ended up taking to Florida with Greg, the $10,000 trip where he goes on the yacht and do all the water sports, correct? Okay, cool. So, we drove to Florida. We didn't catch a flight. We drove his car to Florida that he got by filing my kids on text and not telling me about it, baby. I knew nothing about him filing my kids on text. Man, you do nothing for my kids, but you filed my kids on Texas? Baby, please. So on the way to Florida, this man had weed, pills, all type of stuff in the car, a gun in the car, and I know nothing about it, baby. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't completely know nothing about it, but I only knew about the gun. I did not know about none of this other stuff that's in the car. Everybody carries a gun, so I didn't see nothing wrong with him riding with the gun to Florida. But the weed and the pills, I absolutely did not know nothing about that. Now, on the way to Florida, we ended up getting stopped by the police somewhere in Alabama. Now, I don't remember which kid was in this car, but it either had to have been the oldest or the second one. Don't know which one, but it was on. Where the fuck was the other kid? I don't even know, baby. Must have been at the grandma's house. To be honest, this was so long ago, I really cannot remember. You know what? It had to been. I don't want to tell no lies, so we just gonna move past it. It was one of them. So we end up driving to Florida. We get pulled over by the police in Alabama. Now, when we get pulled over by the police in Alabama, the car smelled like weed. We weren't smoking in the car, but clearly he had weed, so the car smelled like weed. Now, at the time, I smoke weed, so you know when you smoke, you can't even smell that type of stuff. Why you do that, mama? When you smoke, you can't even smell that type of stuff, okay? So it's like the smell is, I'm used to the smell being in the car, so I don't even notice that it's in there. So the police asked for his driver license, whatever, and they end up going back to the police car. So now when the police come back to the car, they like, step out the car. He's like, for what, sir? Whatever, woo. I'm still sitting in the car with the baby or whatever, and they outside the car talking to him. Now, they end up letting him get back in the car, and again, they went back to the police car. Now, when he gets back in the car, he ends up, like, shoving I'm talking about a big-ass bag of fucking pills in my baby diaper. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bro, at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Bro, this man, like, tied the Ziploc bag up, put it in the baby diaper, and sat the baby back in the seat. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, mind you, my baby already needed to be changed. We've been on the road for however long, and we didn't even get a chance to stop at the gas station yet to change the baby. So the baby diaper already full. So now the police come back to the car, and they tell me to step out the car. I'm like, me step out the car? So they tell me to grab my baby and step out the car. I'm like, what the fuck? So I grabbed the baby, and like, I'm at this point, I'm panicking, but I'm calm. Like, I'm grabbing the baby out the car seat or whatever, and I'm knowing what's in her fucking diaper. When I tell you, this dumb motherfucker, not only did he put it in the baby diaper, but the motherfucker didn't even tie it all the way. So now it's motherfucking pills falling all over the car, all in the baby car seat, all over the floor, all over the damn, like, everywhere in the car. Bro, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm not thinking they finna, bruh. They search the car, they see the pills. So they picking them bitches up one by one, like they're fucking X pills. When I tell you the look I was giving that bitch, he know he fucked up. So I'm like holding my baby or whatever, like, but I'm trying to hold her to like where they can't even see the diaper. I grabbed the blanket out the car and I got the blanket wrapped on her, and I'm trying to hold her right. This motherfucker. So the police picking the pills up one by one. They had to been picked up like 30 of them already. They asking him about it. They asking me about it. I'm like, listen, baby, I don't know. They asking him about it. He like, I don't know. And now the officer, like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody finna go to jail. X pills are 5 years per pill. Google is free, baby. That is a 5-year sentence per pill. At this point, I'm fucking stuck. I ain't taking no motherfucking charge. And I'm damn sure I ain't finna get my motherfucking baby took. And I'm letting him know that now. So, I don't know what you finna do or what you finna say, but I'm letting you know now, it ain't even finna go how you think it's finna go, boo. So, he ends up telling the police that, oh yeah, them mine or whatever, it's my birthday, we going down to Florida or whatever, and I just had them, and I know I ain't supposed to have them, but I have them. So now the police, like, searching the car or whatever. They telling me they had already searched the passenger seat, the front seat. So they like, you can get back in the car. And so I get back in the car, and now I'm holding the baby on the passenger seat because they not done with the traffic stop. They just want me to get in the car. So I sit down with the baby. They still in the back seat, picking them up. At this point, bitch, it's like 70 of them they done picked up. All them fell out the bed. So I'm like, what the fuck? So now another officer pulls up, and that officer wants to search the car. Again, I got to get out the car. So guess what, baby? When I get out the car, more of them fall out. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He puts me on the back seat. I say, listen, I need to sit down. So he tells me to get in the back seat. When I get in the back seat, more of them falling out. Bruh, at this point, like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I can't even stand up outside the car because these motherfuckers is just falling. So, he searched the front seat first. He finds the ones that done fell when I got out. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? They picking up, by this time, baby, it's 100 on them. Like, more than 100 of them. So, he finished searching the front seat. He like, you can go and get back in the front seat or whatever. When I get out the back seat, more of them fall out. So, now he goes to the back seat. And he's finding them. And the lady's like, what the fuck? Because I just searched the back seat. When I tell you, like, at this point, my fucking nerves are through the fucking roof. Mind you, this is not the first time he's done this to me. I literally, like, had to lie to these people, tell them I just had a C-section. This is my C-section medicine, which was some Percocet. And that's how he ended up not getting a charge for them. And they was in a Ziploc bag. And I said, oh, well, they're in a Ziploc bag because, you know, I had made up some type of story about the pill bottle. So, I ended up getting them off that time. Baby, this time, I wasn't even going like that, bro. My kid finna get took and everything. I'm not even finna go like that. So now they blow. Like, the police is blow. They like, bro, it's so many of these more. And I just searched the back seat or whatever. So at this point, I'm like, well, I must have sat on some when I was in the back seat. And, you know, when I came to the front, it must have went on it was already on my pants. She goes for it. Now, the police end up letting me stay in the car, but they talk to him. They end up talking to him for a little minute. Mama, can you please move? So they end up talking to him and just lets us go. Baby, at this point, I'm looking at him with the side eye. Because I'm like, no ticket, no nothing. You just letting us go? Have a safe trip? It's giving very federal fed. It's giving police. I'm like, what the fuck? He like, bro, we blessed, fool. We blessed. This and that. No, we ain't no motherfucking blessed. Somebody in this motherfucker is a police, and it ain't me. Girl, come back for the next part.
The beatings, and then she talked about that first hostage situation. I didn't know nothing about the first one. But the second one that she was talking about, let's talk about that. Because I remember that very fondly, because I was getting off of work. I work at, I was working at my job's little spot when they first opened on Lamar. This is back in 2020. And I'm getting ready to turn in. They got my entrance to the apartments blocked off. So I'm trying to find out what the fuck going on. And the officer said, hey, you got to turn back around. He said, because we got a hostage situation going on. I was like, oh, shit. That's okay. So I had to park my car at the gas station across the street and then just walk. So, and I even put this on my Facebook Live, what was going on. So, yeah, she was correct. They had, like, exaggerated shit. Talking about, I ain't never seen stuff like that. Yeah, in a hostage situation, they gonna have a SWAT. They gonna have a tactical van, like one of them damn like one of them old school delivery vans, and they gonna have that tac truck out there. That's what they fucking do. Everything what Destiny said about this is correct, except she left out one detail I'm gonna talk about in a minute. But here was another one. I remember it was a blonde woman out there that was talking and said that she was there, and she even said that she didn't got to the point where they were so sick of them. Her talking about Destiny Gray, that they so sick of them. They wash their hands. They wash their hands and their ass on the shit. They really did. And when South Haven PD has washed their hands of you, and when they trying to tell you leave this motherfucker alone, and you don't fucking listen, they don't. Hey, I mean, this is my thing, ladies. If you fall in love with a dude and he putting you through all this goddamn shit, I don't give a fuck if he was your first piece of, he was your first, like your first kiss, or fellas, she was your first nut you busted in, or whatever. They doing all this shit. Leave them the fuck alone, man. Leave them the fuck alone. But no, she's still with this nigga. She was still with this nigga at the time. What the fuck? But the part that she omitted, she pissed off. She managed to piss everybody off that was trying to help her so bad. They immediately washed their hands of her. The apartment manager at the time pissed her off. The apartment manager at the time who was here, she was a damn sweetheart. She pissed them the fuck off. Talking about, could you do so and so? No, that's the part she omitted. Because I was walking back up to the gas station to go get my car. Man, she managed to piss everybody off that tried to help her with the when she lived over at this apartment complex. When you burn bridges with good people trying to help you, guess what? When you douse that fire, that bridge ain't gonna be operational no more. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but when she managed to piss off the manager, the manager made a decision, no, basically I said, no, fuck 30 days, y'all ass getting out of here. Y'all got 7. Y'all got 7 days to leave out this motherfucker. And then she's saying I don't know now, is she back with this dude? I don't know. If she is, bless her fucking heart.
Now, but I was born and raised in Mississippi. And so I'm like going down, and y'all see the mugshot of Greg, and I went, that's Destiny and Greg. Y'all, Destiny and Greg used to be my neighbors when I lived in South Haven. Also, that means I was living in those apartments when those 2 hostage situations happened. I know my other neighbor Craig made a video and said he was only present for one. I was present for both. So we're going to talk about both from what I saw from my point of view. And yeah. All right, so this is about the first hostage ordeal that was back in June. And need me remind y'all, this was in 2020 during the freaking COVID pandemic. Okay. So I was working from home at the time, and I had just got off work, and I was cooking dinner, I want to say. My neighbor, Kasha, I'm going to talk about Kasha a good bit on here. Kasha was my neighbor at the time. We lived across from each other, and we were cool. We're still cool. We follow each other on here and everything. And so Kasha calls me and says, hey, girl, you want to walk down the street with me real quick? I was like, sure. And so we meet each other outside our doors. And I said, what's going on? She said, girl, the police down there. And I was like, let's go see what's going on. Because one thing about it, we would be nosy together. And so at the time, it was when cops were at our apartments, something was going on. Because our apartments were pretty safe, like very safe. Like there was little to no crime there at the time because we had an apartment manager that made sure that shit didn't happen. Okay, so we walk down there and we see this lady who Destiny described as the caseworker and a bunch of other cops just getting ready to leave. And we was like, hey, everything all right over here? They was like, yeah, it was just a domestic dispute. They said, everything's fine now. I was like, oh, okay, well, y'all have a good night. They were like, yeah, have a good night too. This was like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock in the evening. And so Kasha and I are on our way to walk back to our building, and we see a short, light-skinned girl holding a baby, trying to look to see if anyone's in the leasing office. And so me and Kasha looked at her. We said, hey, the office closed at 5. We said, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I was looking for someone and da-da-da. And we were like, everything okay? And she said, yeah, my baby daddy just came up there and caused the scene. We said, oh, the cops were here for you. And she was like, yes. And we were like, oh, okay. We were just hoping whatever was going on, we was just hoping everyone was okay. She said, yeah, we're fine. She said, he's crazy. And she said something about he done led the police on a chase. So apparently they were chasing him at that moment. Like other cops were chasing him. She said that he kicked her door in. And I'm like, let me tell y'all something about them doors. Them doors at our old apartments are heavy as shit. Okay? So either A, Greg got hella muscle on him, or B, Greg was on something. Because them doors are so freaking, I think they're partially made out of metal. They're so freaking heavy, okay? So I'm like, me and Kosh like, damn, he kicked the door in. She said, kick the door off the hinges. And y'all, he really kicked the door off the hinges. I mean, she showed it to y'all, but like, he really did some damage. And also, the assistant manager, she was new. She witnessed him kick the door in too. So I guess that's why she thought they would still be in the office, but for some reason they left. I think they ended up calling maintenance to come check the door. Because it took them, like she said, it took them 2 days to replace the door. It took a while because that's a heavy ass door. Anything we live in the building right over here. We hope you and your kids have a safe night. And she was just like, thank you, y'all. She was sweet as she could be. I kid y'all not. She was a sweetheart. I kind of felt sorry for her because I've been in a situation with that. I've been in that type of relationship before. It was a long time ago, but yeah. Okay, so the very next day, I'm working. I have my blinds open. I'm like sitting there doing my work. And y'all, I saw one Southampton PD cop come through, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're just patrolling. Y'all, one turned to 10, and then turned to damn near 20. And then I see the SWAT team pulling in. I see rifles coming out these cars. I'm like, what the hell is going on today? And so I'm like, I'm not gonna go out there right now because they got rifles. And so I look out the window, and I see Destiny crying. I'm like, oh, bro, that fool done came back. I ain't gonna lie though, I did tell Kasha, I said, watch his dumb ass come back and the cops gonna get him. I told her that the night before. So the fact that he came back, did just show how dumb he was. Why would you go back to the place you committed the crime at? Like, that was dumb. I don't care. That was stupid. I told Kasha meet me outside. We met each other outside. And we just looking like, what the hell? And so we were finna walk up to Destiny, but y'all, the caseworker was too busy going off. Y'all, when she said that woman went off on her ass, that woman went off on her ass, okay? Her and that other cop were cussing her out left and right because they were sick of it. They said, we are trying to help you, and you keep letting this boy back in. They was like, we're about to not have any options. But of course, they had to arrest him because of what he did the night before, and he was currently hostage in the apartment. He would not come out, and he had those kids. And so with the situation happening, they had to evacuate the leasing office. So basically our apartment manager had to go out, our assistant apartment manager had to go out, and the maintenance man had to leave. Y'all, my apartment manager, she is such a sweet lady. Like, sweet as she can be. I mean, very sweet. Y'all, when I say she was livid, she was livid. And the crazy part was, when she first came over, because they had to evacuate, they had to come over to our building. We all had to stand outside of me and Kasha's building. And so, yeah, I'm going to get into that. And so basically me, Kasha, a couple more of our neighbors, and the whole leasing office is outside of our building while this is happening. And Destiny's over there too. She comes over there. And she's crying, and me and Kasha are like, what happened? And she basically said that the baby daddy pulled up. She said the baby daddy wasn't even there 5 minutes, and cops just swarmed in. I said, yeah. I said, they knew he was going to come back. I know she said in her video, they tracked his phone, and they could have done that too. But the way Southampton PD operate, I really think they had an undercover cop out there watching him come back. Because if somebody that messed up, they going to go back. I really think they had a cop watching for him to come back. And as soon as he came back, they swarmed their asses up to our apartments. But yeah, she told us the story about that. But the part, and y'all, Lord forgive me, I kind of went off on her. I kind of made her feel bad. And I feel bad for her up to this moment. But when she told me she left her kids up there, I was like, so you just thought it was okay to run out and just leave your kids up there with him? Y'all, even up to this moment, if she sees this, I apologize. I just was thinking about the kids at the moment. Because me personally, I would have been up there with my kids. Or the kids would have left and I would have stayed. But I get it. It's the heat of the moment. She didn't know what else to do. And she even told me that, and I kind of was like, oh, goodness. And so then, I'm so glad I didn't drop her name. The apartment manager was like, you could tell she was over there trying to keep her cool, but deep down she was pissed. And y'all, Destiny asked her something, and we knew right then she finna blow. But when they evacuated the leasing office, they had to leave everything behind. And the apartment manager's not gonna have her tenants' numbers in her phone. And so, y'all, Destiny asked the apartment manager, can you call my brother? We all look like, oh, shit. We knew she was going to go off on her. Y'all, next thing you know, the apartment manager goes, do it look like I got anything to call him with? Do it look like I got anything to call him with? We were like, oh, shit. We ain't never, y'all. She is the sweetest lady ever. When she was going off like that, we like, oh, shit. She tired of this shit. Like, she was fed up. So right after that, the cop does his gun back, like he's finna fire a shot in a unit, and Destiny panics, and she's like, oh my God, please don't kill him. So she runs back to the cops. And so one of our neighbors is like, what building does this girl live in? And so we were like, oh, she lives across in the 2 bedrooms with her brother. And then our apartment manager, she looks at us and she's like, not for too much longer. I told Kasha, I said, I told you she was going to be fed up and she going to throw their asses out. And she's over there nodding her head and everything. I'm saying, like, yes, they are about to get evicted. She was mad. She was mad because you got to realize that's affecting people who live there. I mean, I get the situation was not her fault. Dude crazy. But when it comes to domestic disputes, it's just, it's a bad situation to be in because it can leave you homeless. And I really hate it resulted in her getting her brother kicked out. Because that was her brother's apartment. And I hate it resulting to that. But, yeah. That was the first hostage situation. They ended up getting him out. The kids were safe. She was safe. They ended up getting him. It did take a little bit. But they had finally got him. But we're finna talk about that second one. That was 2 months later.
Listen. Don't be trying to rush me, baby. This is part 21 of me soul tied to this motherfucking demon over baby dad. So here it is. We end up getting pulled over in Alabama, and now we go to Florida for the birthday trip. We end up getting into it on the trip. He got caught texting this girl. She was a young ass girl, but she was like a messy bitch. Like, this, I knew we was together, but she was just so fucking messy. So she ends up posting him on her story and was like, oh, I love you, this and that and that. And I'm like, after I just spent $10,000 on your trip for your birthday? Never. So we get into it real bad. He ends up smashing the TV in the hotel, like completely destroying the hotel room. Now when he does this, I'm fed up, baby. Like at this point, I'm ready to go home anyway. So we get put out the hotel, blase happens. We end up going back home. When we get back home, it was like the same bullshit. He was just on the same shit. So now a couple months pass by and it's Halloween. So this happened in June. His birthday was June 18th. Now we get to Halloween. So on Halloween night, it ended up being some type of person going around killing people. And they just so happen to drive the same type of white truck that Greg drives. So we get to the light on 2 lane and the police get behind us. It was no type of traffic violation or nothing. They just get behind us. Now when they get behind us, baby, I done already sparked my blunt up. So for no reason was I finna put my shit out. So Greg ended up turning at the light and he looks over at me. He like, what should I do? And I just look at him like, I don't know what to say. Because I ain't the one driving. So he takes them. I'm still smoking my blunt, baby. I ain't got nothing to do with this, you hear me? So he takes them. He driving so crazy. He out on back roads. He He everywhere, baby. And I'm just over there smoking my blunt. At this point, baby, I don't even know what to say. They so far behind. They bus is behind us, baby. They might well give it up. So he ends up losing them. Now, this dumb motherfucker, knowing he out of gas, took the police. I didn't know he was out of gas, but he knew he was out of gas. So now he running out of gas and he got to go to the gas station. Mind you, the police is still looking for us because we done seen them motherfuckers shoot past us on the back road and everything, and we have no gas. So we get to this little gas station, but the gas station is closed. So of course when we get to the gas station, he ain't got no money, baby. He ain't never got no money. So I get out with my debit card to pay at the pump because the gas station was closed. So when I put my, as soon as I put my card in the damn machine, the police pulls up. But he didn't like straight go to the car. He kind of like circled around the gas station and then he blocks us off. Immediately, 100 police pull up. So I heard him jump back in the car, baby, because I'm thinking he finna take him. Girl, now he sits there. I mean, we was out of gas, but damn, dog, you didn't even give me a chance on me. So now here it is, another situation he done put me in where I gotta take another charge. So at the time, y'all know Greg had kicked in the door, held me hostage, did all this shit. He's on the ankle monitor, and he's not supposed to be in no trouble. So he like, you know, I'm on the ankle monitor, whatever, I'm already fighting this case, just go and take charge for me. I'm like, what charge? Mind you, he wanted me to take a gun charge and the weed charge. Mind you, it wasn't like a 3.5. It was like 2 ounces. So I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm like, Greg, I can't do that. Like we sitting there kind of going back and forth about it, and he ends up stuffing the weed in between the seat. And the police walk up to the car. So now I have no choice now because he clearly already made it known that he ain't finna take it. And I'm sitting over there like, I'm trying to tell him that I can't do it. And then like the police just walks up to the car. So when the police get up to the car, they like, step out. Like, cause he already done took him on a chase or whatever. So they make him step out the car. I'm still sitting in the car. They immediately put him in handcuffs, put him in the back of the police car. Now they come over there to me. They want to check my ID and do all this and that. And I'm like, baby, I'm just a passenger. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with this, baby, okay? So, as I told y'all, I was still smoking my blunt. So I had a blunt or whatever, and that mug was still lit up. So the police like, where the weed at? I'm like, what weed? I ain't got none. This all I got right here. So he takes my blunt. He steps on it and like smushes it on the concrete. Pissed me off, baby. Do you know how much money I spent on weed? And you got the audacity to be stepping on my shit? Child. So he's like, I know there's some more weed in here. So you might well just go and give it to me. I'm like, no, boo, we got to negotiate something. You hear me? So I'm steady telling him ain't no weed in the car. He ends up searching the car and he only finds the gun. So he like, who gun is this? He first takes the gun to Greg to the back of the police car and was like, is this your gun or whatever? I guess Greg told him no. So then he comes back and I'm like, it's mine. He was like, well, you know why I have it, this and that, and I ain't got no carry and this and that. I was like, because I just met this dude. I don't know him. This is my first time linking with him, and niggas be on some weird shit. They be trying to rape people and kidnap people and all type of stuff, so I need to have a gun. So he went for that. He ended up calling in the gun, checking that it wasn't stolen. It wasn't stolen, so you know what I'm saying. He ends up putting the gun back in the car. Now with the weed, he keep asking for the weed. Now he's like, at this point, if you don't give me the weed, you finna go to jail. I'm like, listen, baby, can we negotiate something? So he's like, what? You know what I'm saying? What? So he like, it depends on how much it is. And I'm like, okay. So if I give you the weed, you ain't gonna charge me with it. And he was like, whose is it? I said, it's mine, but I ain't trying to get charged with it. So he was like, go on, give it to me. I ain't gonna charge with it. I was like, no, you got to pinky promise me you ain't gonna charge me with it. And so he ends up pinky promising me that he ain't gonna charge me with it. So I give him the weed. I ended up reaching down in between the seat and I got it and gave it to him. Mind you, this is a pickup truck. So it have like one row and then it's like seats, you know what I'm saying? But it's like real thin, you know, in between the seats, and it was all the way down. So I reached down there and I get it and I gave it to him. And he didn't end up charging me with it. So by then some more officers had pulled up and like I still had to go to jail, but they weren't gonna charge me with possession. Now mind you, in Mississippi, if you get like charged with a weed charge and you got a gun in the car, that's trafficking. So I was really supposed to be in a predicament, but the officer had ended up fucking with me. And he was like, all y'all had to do was stop, because we wasn't even stopping y'all for a violation. We was looking for somebody with this same exact car. So the man who ended up chasing Greg, he was pissed. So he like both of them going to jail. Mind you, Greg wasn't even supposed to go to jail because they weren't even looking for him in the first place. Yeah, he took them on a chase, but they just wanted to be petty anyway. So they takes him to jail for paraphernalia because he had a pack of backwoods. And they take me to jail for paraphernalia because I had the weed. And the officer was just so competitive to me. And he just wanted me to go to jail. Baby, I ain't the one ran from you. So both of us end up going to jail. They towed the car. Mind you, the car that Greg was driving was in Greg daddy's name. The pastor. We ain't even supposed to be with each other. His daddy told him, like, if I bond you out on that $500,000 bond, you ain't even supposed to be around her. Like, it's over with. So now the police have to call Greg daddy to tell them that we was together and they just had to tow the car because we going to jail. Come back for the next part.